Dear students, I am ready with the second part now. A nice, soft voice came of a lady, but that voice also had a firmness. And that lady was very beautiful. She was young and she was dressed in a red colored dress. And Sherry was just licking him. Sherry was just rubbing against her, means licking her. And she came close to the fireplace, reassembled the ornaments. And then she told that everybody was thinking, I am away for a month. But thank God I am back at the right time. But I did not expect to meet a burglar. So now Horace Danby was thinking, oh, she's the owner of the house, the lady. Now he was thinking that I am caught. Now that lady says that, okay, so you are the robber, you came here to rob. So now Horace Danby is telling to that lady, I am not that kind of a robber who will hurt the society. I never hurt the society. Please let me run away. And that lady say, why I should let you run away? I will immediately telephone the police. They will come and they will immediately catch you. The Horace Danby then say, I will cut the telephone wires. Then that lady replied, I will never let you do that. I will make sure for few hours you do nothing. Then Horace Danby says, see, I am not a robber. I am not a professional robber. I only rob the rich person, and that particularly for a purpose. Then that lady replies that you people are a bolt on the society, because if I will let you go free, you will rob someone else. I can't do that. So then Horace Danby pleaded, please let me go. I promise I will never do these kind of things again in my life. And that lady told, no, I don't believe you. After a while, from a silver box, that lady put out a cigarette and sat down and smoking a cigarette. And Horace Danby removed his gloves, light up the lighter for her, thinking that he might persuade her. That lady now told, I really like wrong people like you. And you want to go away? He said. And the Horace Danby said, yes, I want to go away. Then that lady said, okay, I will let you go, but you have to do one particular thing for me. Horace Danby said, yes, I will do anything for you. So she told that before going to London, I told my husband to put my jewels in the bank. But when she said but, Horace Danby interrupted and told, you forget the case number, how to open the case, that number. She said, yes, I forget. So Horace Danby says, okay, I will do it for you. And the lady was telling that I want to wear that jewel for today's party. So I need it immediately, within an hour. So Horace Danby, within an hour, opened that particular case and handed all the jewelry to that lady. And that lady also told Horace Danby, don't worry about my husband, because he will not come soon, and before he comes, I will mend that case, because he has to broke that case in order to dial that number. So he handed that jewelry to that lady. And for 2 days, he was maintained the promise that he will not rob this and that. On the third day, he planned that I shall do something about my hobby of stealing the books. But before he does that, the police had caught him for the robbery in Shotover Garage. I told you the name. Shotover Garage was the name of the house where all this robbery, the lady where he plans to rob, where the dog Sherry is there, where the lady is there, took place. And he was stunned, and he pleaded to the police that it was the owner of the house, a lady, who persuaded her to do that. And you know who that lady came to be? She was a 60-year-old lady with grey hairs. And that lady told that this robber, Horace Denby, is uttering a blatant lie. Now Horace Denby is in the prison library where he works as the librarian for the books. And now he understood that that lady was not the member of the family, but was another robber like him, and she was young and pretty, and how she fooled him to do that robbery. And that makes Horace Denby very much agitated, animated and angry. He told that even among the thieves there is no kind of honesty. So this was the full summary of the chapter. Once again I will reiterate the main important point. Firstly, Horace Denby, 50-year-old man, unmarried, well, very great in nature, helped by a housekeeper who was worried about his health. He is having hay fever, but he was not at all honest. 15 years ago, he was caught in a robbery, and now he is serving a sentence in the prison library. He used to steal expensive books. For 12 years he was doing that the same, rare and expensive books, and also maintained his livelihood through robbery. So in July summer season, he also planned the same kind of robbery, and he thought that he will rob Shotover Garage. Shotover Garage is a very important Shotover Garage is a place where he did the robbery, where he studied everything about that garage, where the jewelry was worth 15,000 pounds. He thought that if he will sell those jewelry, he will get 5,000 rupees, pounds, sorry, and 3 important expensive books are coming. Those 4,000 pounds will be expenses for a year, and also for the purchasing those 3 expensive books. He studied the whole architecture of the house. He studied where are the lawns, where are the room, where is the electricity wire. He wore the gloves. The housekeeper has kept the keys outside the kitchen door. He took it, wore the gloves, entered it, where he met a dog, where he petted and called him Sherry. The dog was quiet. He has a problem of haywire, so sometimes he smells, the smell of the flowers get to him, and he sneezed. Then he entered the house. He came to know that all the this jewelry is in the drawing room behind a very poorly made painting. So he first thought of robbing all the painting, but he says no, these paintings are in all rooms, so better to rob the books only. Then he cut the wire of the burglar alarm, which was poorly made. Then again the bowl of flowers was there, where he sneezed, and it was an irritant for him. So a voice came that whether it was a hay fever or you sneeze like this, and if you are really serious about your job, you should meet a doctor and get cure of this. That voice was of a lady, young beautiful lady, dressed in a red dress. Her voice was nice, sweet, but it has the firmness. She told that I just came in time and I met a burglar. Horace Denby pleaded to her that let me go, I don't rob for poor people, I rob rich people, I rob only to satiate my carvings for reading expensive book. That lady said no, I will call the police, I will telephone the police. You are a bolt on the society, you will rob someone else. Again, Horace Danby pleaded that please let me go. I just hate the name of the prison. And that lady particularly tell, I like wrong kind of a person like you. Then she said she will let him go if he will do one favor for him. He asked his husband before going to London to deposit all his jewelries into the bank, but he forgot the case number. So Horace Danby told, okay, I will do that for you. He broke the case, dialed the number, got the jewelry and gave it to the lady. For 2 days he was very much quiet and happy now that he has escaped the prison. Third day the police caught him for the robbery in the Shotover garage. And he said that it was only the owner who told him to rob, but that owner turned out to be a 60-year-old lady, and she told that this convict or the robber Horace Danby is telling you a bullshit story. And then she came to know that that lady was the another robber like him, who had planned meticulously very well how she fooled him, how she got all the jewelry, ran him, and now he's in the prison library serving like this and telling there is no honor among the thieves. I think you have got this chapter. Thank you very much. These are the some of the very important points of this chapter, my dear students. So you have a look. Any doubt, any queries you have, you can call me, you can text me anytime. God bless you. Thank you very much for your cooperation.